What's up, my Woken people? This is your homie Woken Joe. I'm over here just giving you another video of something that I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. But before we do that, let's get some praise and worship with the song Show Me Your Ways. Alright, let's hear it. Now that's a beautiful, beautiful song. I love that song. I love listening to it. I always feel the spirit moving when I hear that song. But let's get right into it, alright? The video that I want to make for today is something that I wanted to get into, like I said earlier, and that is why Christians / people are leaving the church. Alright, why are Christians leaving the church? Why are people leaving the church? Why are Vizians leaving the church? Why is everybody leaving the church? Why does everybody leave the church? And You know, I always wondered why people would, for many years, and there's a lot of reasons, even though it shouldn't be any reasons. But let's explore these reasons, and let me tell you the ones that I hear a lot. Number one, people leave the church because of money. Yes, you heard it right, because of money. A lot of people leave the church because there's a lot of preachers, pastors, maybe people that, that start the service. They like to talk about money. They, especially when you're a visitor and, you've never been to church and you're trying to get into church. That's not the first thing you want to hear, being pressured and being overwhelmed by giving your tithes and offerings. You don't want to, or just give in general, or a whole service about preaching about how you should give. That's very overwhelming, and even from the people in the church, the congregations, they get tired of it, and it's hard when you're a visitor or you're in a church that you're faithful to be a cheerful giver. All right. And we're supposed to be a cheerful giver, but how are we supposed to be a cheerful giver when we're being pressured and forced? You know what I mean? And in 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 7, it says, "Let every man do after the purpose of his heart, not giving with grief or by force. God will take place in a cheerful giver." Okay, so how are we supposed to be a cheerful giver when we have people pressuring us and always talking to us about money? That's a one-way ticket on the train to leave the church. And I've seen a lot of people leave the church because of that. All right? Number two, people leave the church because they felt like they were being judged in the church. Oh, yeah. I know a lot of people that have been judged in the church by the way they look, the way they talk, people making the wrong idea of who they are. Yeah, there's so many people that judge, that will whisper, and just it's so bad. I left the church because of that. I thought it was so retarded. I'm over here thinking, wow, this is the one place that I should be able to find peace. And man, you guys are talking bad because of the way I talk, the way I dress. Like, really? How old are you guys? And I would even bring this up to the pastor, and they didn't think it was a big deal. And that was sad, really sad. And we have no right to be judging nobody. We all know this. We all know we don't have the right to be judging nobody. Matthew chapter 7 verse 1 and 2, it says, "Don't judge others and you won't be judged. For you've been judging, you will be judged." So nobody has the right to be judging anybody. And yeah, people leave the church because of that. Now, number 3, another reason why people leave the church, and and it's so true, is because people see that there is a lot of hypocrites and gossip in the church. Oh yeah, there is a lot of gossiping in the churches nowadays. I don't like that whatsoever. It is bad when you are a visitor and you are trying to go back to church and you have people just talking down on you, talking bad, or people or church members talking behind your back, and then all of a sudden they want to be cool with you. Church members not living the way they're supposed to, but yet they have the nerve to talk about you and the way you live. They talk about you, but they don't even look at themselves. And that is so hypocritical of them. And hypocrites, I'll tell you this right now, I hate hypocrites. Is the most beautiful lie that you will see. One of the beautiful lies you will see. Alright, and I'll explain that to you. But first, even continuing in Matthew chapter 7, reading 3 through 5, is pretty much saying, before you look at your brother, look at yourself. If you can't see the dust in your own eye, how can you look at your brother's to find the dust in his eye? So look at yourself before looking at your brother and sister. Alright? But when I mean it's a beautiful lie, it explains it right here in Matthew chapter 23 verse 27. Hypocrites is a lie. like a resting place, like a cemetery, right? It's beautiful outside, but inside are nothing but full of dead man bones, full of nastiness. And you gotta understand that when you have gossipers and hypocrites, oh yeah, people are definitely don't want to go to your church. People ain't gonna want to go near your church, and a lot of people don't understand that. So that's another reason why people will leave the church. All right. Now number 4, and this one is a doozy. This one is I've heard a million times, and that one is, of course, number 4. People or Christians see false teachers, false prophets in the church. Oh yeah, there's a lot of preachers, a lot of people in the church that, especially the pastors, that they're more about man-made rules, and they speak man-made gospels instead of reading biblical things, or they make up rules that even the congregation's like, that don't sound right at all, you know. And there's a lot of false prophets, a lot of false preachers that are out there like that. There are a lot of people that are full of wickedness, that they only want to get into a church because, oh, they don't have to pay their taxes, or, you know, they say, oh, you know, money, people get money in the church, so, you know, yeah, you know, they do it for the wrong reasons, and the devil is just so deceitful. And as a person like me that's been in the church for many years, you can see right through these preachers and pastors and all these people that are reading the word and teaching the word. And then there's, you know, these people that are visitors. They'll see right through that, and they'll bounce, they'll leave. And you know, there's a devil out there that is just putting these men out there to do this wicked stuff, and we're not supposed to do this. You know, we need to be careful, because Jesus warned us about this. You know, in Matthew chapter 24, Matthew chapter 24, verse 11, it says, a number of false prophets will come causing errors. All right, and I believe this is happening right now. All right, and even in 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13 through 15, it says there's false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles because of the devil turning himself into an angel of light. See, so everybody, and I noticed too that there's a lot of these pastors out there that sound legit, but I know it's wicked. I know it is, just by the way they use their words, they choose their words, the way they say the words. And I see that a lot nowadays, and so we need to be careful. All right, we gotta be careful about that, because there is a lot of people that will deceive you. All right. And of course, let's go to number 5. People expectations wasn't met because of lack of their faith and belief. Now, I want to get into this right now because I get tired of people saying this. A lot of people leave the church because, oh, God didn't answer my prayers, this and that. Okay, but when do you pray to Him? Do you have faith in Him? Do you believe in Him? Well, you know, I only pray for Him while I'm in trouble, or when I need a job, or, you know, I need something. Okay, you're not supposed to do that. That's why your expectations are so damn out of it, because that's why you didn't meet your expectations, because your expectations wasn't meet because you wanted what you want without faith and believing in God, for one, and two, you only believe in God and have faith in God for Him to work with you or answer your prayers when you want something. See, because people go for their own gain. All right, like if God is a genie in a bottle, you get all these wishes. They like to use God when and need God only when they're in trouble or something, or they need something, instead of building a relationship with God and being able to know Him and know your God. So they don't believe in Him. They just pray and think it's magically going to appear. Don't get me wrong, my God answers all my prayers, but it's only what He wants to answer the prayers. I always ask God, thank you for answering my prayers anyways, with no doubt, with no hesitation, with so much 110% faith, and of course 100% belief in God, that one, my God is dead and He's not alive. He's the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and I have faith and believe that He will answer my prayers. Even if I don't deserve it or not, only God will give me what I need, and He will provide. But a lot of people expectations uses God so bad that they expect God to give me, but you don't even want to serve God. And a lot of people leave the church because of that, but they're confused and they need to understand that it's because of you, not because of God. Okay? And a lot of people don't like to hear that. But you gotta have, you must have faith and believe in Jesus. Alright? In Hebrew chapter 11 verse 6, it says, without faith, it is impossible to please Him. For he who comes to God must believe that He is God, and He is a rewarder to those who seeks Him. Okay? My God is a rewarder because I believe Him and have faith in Him. But a lot of people don't. And that's why they leave the church. And so even though all these things do take place in the church, it doesn't give you a reason, or it shouldn't give you a reason for anyone, for that matter, to leave the church. And I want to give you guys a few things that maybe you guys can do or use. Maybe you're going through this right now. Maybe you're trying to find a church and, you know, you're new and you don't know and you're afraid of these things, and which could be a whole lot of different things, but these are the ones I hear a lot about. I was going to say, here's a few things that you could do and you should do. Okay, one, pray for the church. Wherever you go, pray for that church and let God work. Okay, a lot of people go to church and thinking because they hear one good sermon or one good song that, oh, that's the church I want. But pray about it and let God show you about the church. All right. Number two, if you see any of these things or more happening, pull the pastor to the side. Talk to the pastor about the issues. All right. Let him know, hey, I see this. I don't think that's right. You know, of course, pray in your mind before you talk to the pastor, but talk to the pastor and let him know and pray that God will reveal this to him. You know, whatever you see, it reveals. And say if nothing happens, pray to God anyways to send you to a church for you. Pray to God to send you to a church that He wants you to be in, that you can get all the praise and that you can praise and glorify His name. All right? And remember, we are the church. All right? Don't let the devil judge you or confuse you in your mind. All right? God, our Father, will expose the evil in the church. But it is up to you to say something. And you need to say something. But pray to God. I want to thank you guys for listening and watching. I hope you guys have a good time. Hope you guys are safe out there. Thank you. God bless you guys. I encourage you guys to look up these scriptures, and anybody that are going through this and see this in the church, pray and ask God and talk to your pastor about it. We thank you. God bless you. Stay woke.